Welcome, sports fans, to another edition of the Buffoon Sports Talk. I'm your host for today, Troy Alexander. I've got the big guy, Alex Campbell, with me.
What's up, everybody?
So, not self-quarantine really, because, you're going to work, I'm going to work, but I'm at my house, you're at your house. We're unable to meet up and record, but we still want to bring an episode to everybody with us. So we're going to get it going. About 3-4 days ago, the 2020 Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame 2020 class got announced. So I wanted to quickly talk about that class with you, Alex, as well as another topic that we've been talking about a little bit. But to round out the list real quick, I've got it right here. So obviously, being probably one of your favorite athletes, Kobe Bryant, got inducted. And I'm going to go through the list, and then we'll just kind of talk about the list. But the first one I wanted to start off with was Kobe Bryant. 18-time All-Star, 5-time NBA champion, then 15-time NBA All-Star and 3-time NBA Finals MVP, Tim Duncan, 15-time NBA All-Star and 9-time NBA All-Defensive First Team selection, Kevin Garnett. And then we're going to move away from the NBA. And keep in mind, guys, this is the Basketball Hall of Fame. There's in no way an NBA Hall of Fame just yet. Maybe sometime in the future, but for now, this is a Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame. So this could be WNBA, NCAA, college, NBA, doesn't matter. Anything basketball related. 4-time National Coach of the Year, Eddie Sutton. 2-time NBA champion coach, Rudy Tomjanovich. 10-time WNBA All-Star and 4-time Olympic gold medalist, Tamika Catchings. Well-deserved there. 3-time NCAA national champion coach of Baylor, Kim Mulkey. 5-time Division II National Coach of the Year, Barbara Stevens. And long-time FIBA executive, Patrick Baumann. So, obviously, all well-deserved. I think that goes without saying. Anytime you reach a Hall of Fame of anything, it's obviously a career achievement. But Kobe, Timmy, and Kevin, I really want to talk about those three guys because growing up, you and I are pretty much the same age. Those were the guys that we really saw dominate the NBA for a really long time. Now, I know Kevin Garnett didn't have as many he had success, but he didn't have as many victories, I would say, but still very impactful. Him and Tim Duncan and then Dirk Nowitzki were the best power forwards of their generations, like by far. And then you have obviously the Black Mamba, Kobe Bryant, rest in peace. And on those three guys, and if you want the other six, is there one that really stands out for you? And how do you think their legacy is now defined because of this?
I'm obviously going to say Kobe Bryant. I don't know if it necessarily changes anything in his legacy. I think we all knew it was going to happen regardless. And we knew it would happen the first time that he was up for vote. So I just think that it's sad that he couldn't be there to talk about it. I think it's sad that you couldn't have Shaq there. You couldn't have Michael Jordan there. Obviously they could still be there, but you know what I'm saying? Like with Kobe there and
Right.
It's kind of sad, but it's a good thing to see. Obviously not taking anything away from Tim Duncan, especially. Kevin Garnett, like you said, I think he's a little bit below Duncan and Kobe, but still an amazing player. amazing drive. He's a great basketball player. And yeah, he changed basketball in many ways, even not by winning championships. He was on the Timberwolves, and honestly, he was there for a while, and obviously I don't think they were going to have any success regardless who was on that team, unless, but at least he won one, I guess, even though I hate the Celtics, and I'm really not a Kevin Garnett fan, but you have to respect his game. Tim Duncan, it goes without saying. That's Timmy D, man. If you don't respect Tim Duncan, I don't know what to say.
Right. I mean, best power forward of all time, the big fundamental, took over that franchise when David Richardson was on his way out. And really a class act too, I would say, for sure. Tim Duncan.
He did everything right.
Yeah, he did. I mean, I think he was like a 10-time all-first defensive player, multiple-time MVP winner, 5-time champion. Like the accolades go on, dude. And it's just, and when I look at Kevin Garnett, like you, not a big KG fan, but I respect his competitiveness, his drive, like, so he spent, I believe it was 12 years in Minnesota. I believe he got drafted in 95 and then got traded to Boston in 2007. And the crazy part about that is there was actually talks of him getting traded to the Lakers. And that never went down. Instead, it was Pau Gasol that got shipped to the Lakers, and those two teams being Boston, the team that KG did eventually get traded to, and LA that played in the finals that very same year. And it's crazy to think of maybe how the history would have gone down if KG and Kevin Garnett would have played together. But just, I don't know, like, I respect Garnett, and this pod is no way to take anything away from these guys. I just made the Hall of Fame. But for me, like, some of the stuff Garnett did on the court, I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, the smack he would talk to people, like he would be headbutting people in the chest. And like, this year he actually just came out with comments about LeBron James saying, yeah, we basically punked LeBron out of Cleveland in 2010 because we beat him so many times, and he had to go to Miami to beat us. And I'm just like, dang, this guy and his Boston Celtics that he won once with definitely talk a lot of crap for just a team that won once. Like, that's the only thing I gotta say. I mean, normally guys who've won multiple championships get to talk like that, but a guy that won once, like, I don't know, man. It's him and Paul Pierce are kind of just like two guys that I'm just like, ugh. But like, when I look at that Boston team that won from like in 2008, I respect the hell out of Ray. Like, I respect the hell out of all those guys. But like, when I think of like their big three at the time of Ray Allen, Kevin Garnett, and Paul Pierce, the one guy out of those top three, like, I hope that would get into the Hall of Fame would be Ray Allen. Like, Ray Allen's he's a classy guy. You never really heard him get into too many things. And
they hated him there.
Well, it's funny how many scuffles Rondo and Ray got into. But yeah, you're right though. Like, after Ray went to Miami, like everyone on that Boston team just hated Ray.
Yeah.
They were just like, and the funniest part about it is like, wait, you guys hate Ray Allen, but Danny Ainge, GM of the Celtics, has been trying to trade Ray Allen for years.
Yeah.
So you're going to get mad at him for bolting when he's been in trade rumors for years? I wouldn't be mad at all.
No.
So, yeah, man, it's just, but all in all, I mean, congratulations to all these guys that got in, all these women that got in. I know Tamika Catchings is a hell of a player too. I've watched some of her games, and yeah, it's exciting to see who's going to get in next year. So, yeah, man, it's Hall of Fame 2020. There's your class, everybody. Enjoy it. Like you said, Alex, I wish Kobe could be here, but unfortunate things have happened.
I don't know about you.
Um,
I don't know about you, Troy, and I hate to even bring it back, but it almost still doesn't seem real to me. Like sometimes when you bring it up, I'm still like, wait, are you? Oh man, like, and it hits me again. I'm like, it really did happen.
yeah, yeah, no, it's like what? It's been almost how long? Like almost 2 months now, and it still kind of feels like it just happened yesterday. Like a bus just kind of hit you,
Yeah,
and like it's crazy. Like I would have liked to seen Kobe's thoughts on this whole like pandemic going on right now, like how he feels about this season for the Lakers, and just so many things, man. So many things. Um, but anyway, let's awkwardly shift gears to a topic that we've been kind of talking about lately. So the MLB just announced that they're going to try to continue to have the season, but big but all of the games would be in our state, my friend, in our state of Arizona. How do you feel about baseball teams playing only specifically in Arizona and the tickets being as cheap as they are?
well, I believe people are saying you can get airline tickets within a couple states near us for like $12 or something. Like the tickets are just so cheap. Um, Troy, to answer your question, I have multiple feelings because, as you know, I'm a huge baseball fan. My favorite sport, and I'm a Yankees fan. So, I, as much as I would love to have baseball here, at the same time we live here, so that includes having. I don't know what their plan is, if they're going to have any people coming into um, the stadiums or what it's going to be, but still it's still a lot of publicity coming via media, players, their families. It's just a lot more people coming to Arizona. I don't know how I necessarily feel about that, because if you don't live in Arizona, you don't really know. I know the rest of the country is kind of quarantined. We're technically on a quarantine, but I'm sure Troy can attest to this as well. We both go out and work because apparently we're essential. No one is acting like it's quarantined. I left my house this morning and I drove by the dog park, and there was like 10 people in the dog park. In the park. I'm like, these are places are supposed to be shut down. People don't care. So I don't want to make it about the whole virus, but it just, I don't know how to feel about it, Troy. I'm excited because baseball is going to be back. I'm excited because it's it it is going to be in Arizona, and I can possibly go see some of my teams go play. But at the same time, I'm not too sure I like living here and having it come here.
Right, and well, to touch on what you said, it's so difficult to not make it about this pandemic when talking about sports, because how many aspects of your life has this impacted? I can for sure answer at least 5 different ways that this pandemic has impacted my life. And in the first being sports. We do a sports podcast. We all talk about sports. We all love sports. When we come home from our 9 to 5 lives, we have sports to look forward to. No, not anymore. So now we have to adjust in a manner to where I don't think we've ever had to. So this is all uncharted territory for us. We've never been through this. So it's hard to talk about sports without talking about it.
Yeah, one
And
thing I want to hit on too that I don't think people really understand is that this isn't like them saying, "Oh, we're going to Texas and playing games in only Texas." When they say Arizona, they're talking the Maricopa County. They're talking just this Phoenix area. I don't think people understand that there's 13 stadiums, I think, but it's a small area. I have had days of work where I drive past every single stadium basically. So I mean, it's we don't have a huge area, and we're going to be bringing in a lot of people. But I am excited just to have sports back, Troy. I mean, I'd be happy if it was volleyball, to be honest with you.
Bro, you and me both, just to have some like physical sport back. Like I mean, right now I'm stuck watching reruns. You know,
Yeah.
I'm stuck watching old NBA Finals games. I'm stuck watching old, Peyton Manning highlights or something. But it's like what you said. It's like you drive by a dog park, you see tons of people there. I work in multiple retail, corporations every day, and I go into multiple stores, and there's still hundreds of people in the store at a time. So it's not really like we are being quote unquote quarantined here in Arizona. So that being said, you get multiple teams into a state with multiple trainers, multiple media members. How is that going to impact us? And I'm excited, and I really would love to go to a game, but you still have to keep in mind like everything that is going on, and it's scary,
It is.
and Commissioner of the NBA Adam Silver today just announced, hey, we would love to crown an NBA champion by Labor Day, which is in September.
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah, that's great and everything, but like, damn, like that's still 5 months away. It's like, how do I wait that long? But anyway, we did want to touch on one last topic, and that was the UFC possibly having fights on a remote island. Correct me if I'm wrong.
On the what, Troy?
On like a remote island, right? Like a deserted island.
Yeah, that's the thought on it. Yeah.
Okay. So you being a big fight guy, I want to hear your thoughts on that.
I am extremely bummed because Habib and Tony this is the fifth time they've tried to do this fight. And this is the fifth time it's fallen through. I guess I can be somewhat happy that there's at least a fight, but just the fact that we've just been in the loop that this fight was still going to go on, and then all of a sudden all this drama, it's just sad. And it's a great fight, but it's just not as good of a fight as we should have had, and it's just a really sad thing. But going to this private island is just it's a crazy thought, man. It's a crazy thought. They're going to set up shop on there and only bring a certain amount of people, and they're still going to be sanctioned by the US. And it's just a very interesting ordeal.
How does this work though? Like I just don't get this. Okay, so I don't mean to keep backtracking, but the NBA was talking about doing this too, but with no fans, having teams in stadiums playing games, no fans. How does that happen? How do you stop like the spread of the virus when you still have to have cameramen in there recording the game, and all this other stuff that happens during the game without like with without the thought in your mind, like, okay, this thing could still spread between, I don't know, the 20 to 30 people in the stadium. Like, how is that going to happen? Like, explain it to me. How does going to an island stop that though from happening?
I don't personally think it really does, but I think the only way it does is like UFC, they can possibly do it because you've got two fighters, three judges, so you got five people. They'll probably cut it down to two cornermen in each side, so that's nine people. Then you've got a commentator that doesn't technically even have to be in the building. So I mean, you have a referee. So you have like 10 people you technically could get away with UFC. Whereas basketball, you're already at 10 people on the court, not counting referees. not counting coaches, not counting the rest of your teammates. Probably not doable with other sports. UFC might be able to get away with it in some aspects because you could keep certain personnel. I don't know if they would do this, but you could keep certain personnel on that island, keep them kind of quarantined, and then just bring in camps of people and test them all. So you're bringing in. You're probably only going to have a limited card. It's probably only going to be 5 fights, and then they're doing 10 apparently, but let's say they do 5 fights. You're looking at 10 fighters, 20 trainers. So that's 30 people. You test those 30 people, you fly them in. That's the only way I really think you can get it done. But they could have it max under 50 people probably in a good UFC event, in a full size big building.
Okay, so I'm just trying to think, because if a UFC fight on a deserted island can get it done in under 50 people, can't that mean that like a basketball game could happen if they just tested the people that are going to be in that game in that stadium and just keep it to a limited amount of people, like 40, 50 people? Like
they probably could, but I think the idea behind the UFC is that all those 50 people wouldn't be in the building at the same time. So you would have the first fight go and then maybe bring in the next group of fighters with their trainers, and then the other people leave, so that you're really only keeping in roughly 10 people in the building at all times. But I don't know, Troy. They really are just going out on a whim. They basically promised they were going to keep events going. They had to postpone 3 of them. They promised they were going to keep this event going. And it's kind of been shady how they're doing it. I think the fans are kind of being sold out short, because this was supposed to be such a big – this technically, Troy, this is supposed to be the biggest fight in UFC history. And I don't see why they didn't just postpone it, but – it is what it is. I feel like they could have postponed the main fight and they still could have brought an event together. And people are going to watch it regardless. You could have amateurs fighting and people would probably still buy it.
Yeah. I mean, like, put it this way. Like, the WWE, say whatever you want about the WWE, they just had a WrestleMania. And I understand they did it with no fans. And you don't get, the same adrenaline rush as you would if all the fans are there reacting to what the wrestlers are saying on the mic, the moves that are being done, whatever kind of actions happening in the ring. You don't get that same type of, maybe the goosebumps, the rush, just the whole experience in whole. But like, just the WWE is doing it, so how many people do you think are in that arena when 2 guys are talking to one another? There's a cameraman, whatever. There's maybe 2-3 people in the ring. I just don't think that's obviously not possible for the NBA to happen. At one time, there's 13 people on a court, being 5 guys on each team, and then 2 to 3 refs.
Yeah,
That's
it's not.
at least
It's
13
just.
people.
It's not happening.
It's not happening for the NBA.
No.
UFC, man, I just, the deserted island or whatever type of island, it makes sense. But at the same time, you still have like multiple people, and they're saying, stay within 6 feet of someone. You're not staying in 6 feet of someone in a fight.
Well, no.
And
but those two participants are tested.
I know that, but how does that change the fact with everybody else? Now, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here. I would love to see, sporting events back, but at the same time, I'm all for safety as well, and you got to keep these people safe. So, man, I'm just trying to think of like every which way in my mind, like how can this come back? How can I just think the basic fact of the matter is this shit's got to get cleared up. That's it. And it pains me deeply to say that because I want to sit on my couch and watch, ESP NBA on Wednesday nights or on Saturday nights. Hell, watching games at your guys' house with you guys on Saturday nights, fights. So, dude, I'm,
Excuse me.
I'm struggling, big guy. And excuse me to everybody listening to this. Kids are home. So I apologize for the background noise. They're quarantined themselves. All schools got shut down. So I apologize greatly for any background noise. And
No, I don't think we have to apologize. Everyone knows what's going on, and it's a bummer.
right. And just to everyone, hang in there. We're all fighting this. Hang in there and follow us.
Yeah,
YouTube.
I'm watching a rerun of the Angels play Baltimore Orioles where Cal Ripken Jr. is playing.
Wow.
So
Wow, big Cal. Yeah, man, and I've got NBA TV, the app, and I'm just, they have classic games. They have all the finals games dating back to like, the 80s. So go and watch as many games from then as you want. I mean, I was actually watching the 2019 NBA finals the other day, and I was also watching the 2004 finals of the Lakers and Pistons. And just kind of seeing how the game changed drastically since like 16 years ago. And it's crazy, man. It's crazy what we're doing now, but we all got to do something. Is there anything that you want to end on to anybody watching?
like and subscribe, and we'll try to bring you as much content as we can.
Excuse Alex while he has an allergy attack. So
I'm
I'll
having a
just
sneeze attack over here. I got the allergies. Woo!
Yeah, guys, to hit on what Alex said, YouTube, Spotify, we're also all over social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just give us a follow, give us a like. We would really appreciate the support. And we will be bringing you more of these as we continue the quarantine. So thanks for listening. And Bullet, take us out.
Have a good night, guys.